So now Eid Salah. So really we've gone past Ramadan now. We've gone past Laylatul Ja'iza. Eid Salah. Ji.
The Eid Salah is wajib on whoever Jummah is wajib.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
conditions except the khutbah.
ठीक है. जी. Carry on.
Mustahab before the prayer to eat, perform ghusl.
Yeah, to eat something sweet before Eid al-Fitr, the Eid Salah for Eid al-Fitr is preferable. Ji. It's one of the etiquettes. Ji.
Perform ghusl.
Ji.
Use miswak.
To perform ghusl is sunnah before the Eid Salah. To perform, use the miswak before Eid Salah. Ji.
To use miswak. To apply perfume.
To apply itar for males. Ji.
To wear your best clothing.
Best clothing, which should be sunnah clothing. That's the best clothing. Yes or no? Yes? Yes. But this is another thing. We're coming towards the end now, so mashallah, you've been patient and you sat through. We need to understand that the idea of sunnah clothing, people challenge this. People go as far as to say, if Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam was to come to the world today, he would wear whatever he wears today. Let me tell you that Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam came to the best part of the earth, and he came to the best people, and he came with the best example. If Allah had desired anything else, if anything else could be better, it would have been there then. While Rasulullah maintained the norms, social norms of the Arabs on some aspects, he changed them on other aspects. He fundamentally changed their belief system and their social interactions where they were wrong, and he maintained them when they were right. So the sunnah libas is superior. And if you want to see examples of it, you see that the pious people of all nations wear clothing close to the sunnah. In Arabia, in Africa, in Asia, wherever Muslims exist, whether it's women's dress code or men's, the women's dress code is also, it will be called sunnah because it's sunnah of the female sahaba and the Prophet's wives and daughters. So this is something which we miss out on today. Covering our, dare I say it, heads is sunnah. I mean, I'm not afraid to say this. My point is that we need to embrace this point. And you ought to accept that we are falling short of this. The sunnah of the hair, of the facial hair, the head, and covering our heads in salah and outside of salah as well. This is sunnah. It's not something which is made up. It's not something which is, my brothers, it's not something cultural. And some people lead you to believe that if you don't cover your hair and head outside of salah, then you shouldn't do it just for salah. That's not correct either, because you ought to be in your best form for salah. So for Eid Salah, your best clothing will be sunnah clothing, and it will be clothing which is permissible, which means it's not too tight for men and women. It's not revealing, and it's not see-through, it's not torn, and the waistline isn't too low, and so on and so forth. All of those restrictions. And for men, certain colors are not permitted. The oranges and the sort of bright colors like that, and feminine colors. In Islam, there is a distinction between what men wear and what females wear. And with the hadith which mentioned red clothing for Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, the ulama explained that it's referring to red threads and stripes. It's not, the entire clothing wasn't red all through and through. So best clothing should be sunnah clothing. Ji.
And give sadaqatul fitr.
Sadaqatul fitr. This is meaning to give it before Eid is preferable, but to give it is actually wajib. It's known as zakatul fitr as well. It should reach the needy people, and this is why we recommend that you give it to whichever source you want to give it to, or directly during Ramadan, so that it reaches the people that are in need of it on the day of Eid, before they've performed their own Eid Salah.